Hi, here we are going to see about the continuation part of the unit 4. In this topic we are going to see about the fiber to fiber joints and their alignments. So first one is fiber to fiber joints. So optical fiber link is used for both joining and termination of the transmission medium. So generally number of intermediate fiber connections or joints which is dependent upon the link length. So here the interconnect fibers is a fiber optic system is another very important factor. So these interconnects should be low loss. So these interconnects occurs at optical sources photodetector within the cable where two fibers are connected and the intermediate point in a link where two cables are connected. So the connections can be a permanent bond or else it is known as splice, and another thing is easily demountable connection, that is known as the connectors. So here all the joining techniques are subject to different levels of power losses at the joints. So these losses will depends on different parameters like input power distribution at the joint, length of the fiber between optical source and the joint, geometrical and waveguide characteristics of two fiber ends at the joint, and fiber end phase qualities. So the optical power coupled from one fiber to another is limited by the number of modes that can be propagated in each other. So for a graded index fiber, a fiber with the 500 modes capacity connected with the fiber of 400 modes, and capacity can only couple 80% of power in. For the graded index fiber, with the core radius A and cladding index N2 with the propagation constant of K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. So then the total number of modes is expressed as M is equal to K squared integral 0 to A N squared of R minus N2 squared into R into dr. Here N of R variation in the refractive index profile of the core. So the above equation can be related to general local numerical aperture Na of R. So the next one is it can be associated with a general numerical aperture to yield M is equal to K squared integral 0 to A Na squared of R into dr. So that is K squared Na squared of 0 integral 0 to A 1 minus R by A the whole power alpha into R into dr. So here Na of 0 is the axial numerical aperture and alpha is the index profile of the core. So as the different fibers can have different values of a numerical aperture, so M can be different for different fibers. So next one is fiber to fiber coupling efficiency. So the fraction of energy coupled from one fiber to another fiber is proportional to the common mode volume M common. So if the uniform distribution of energy over the modes is assumed, then the fiber to fiber coupling efficiency, that is eta f is equal to mcom divided by me, where me is the number of modes in the emitting fiber. So the next one is fiber to fiber coupling loss. So it means the fiber to fiber coupling loss LF is given as LF is equal to minus 10 log of eta f. So this is the fiber to fiber coupling loss equation. So next one is here we have used the two cases. Case A is if all the modes are equally excited, then the joint with the fiber of the same size having the slight mechanical misalignment will cause the power loss. So in the next case, if the propagating modes in the steady state have equilibrium numerical aperture, so joining with the optical fiber of same core size and same characteristics, it will face the numerical aperture of large size in the receiving fiber. So even a mechanical misalignment cannot cause the power loss. So case B is for longer fibers and power loss will occur when in the receiving fibers. So the steady state will be achieved in these cases. Mechanical misalignment. So a potentially greater source of loss at the fiber to fiber connection is caused by the misalignment of two joint fibers. That is the radiation losses which results from mechanical misalignment because the radiation core of the emitting fiber which does not match the acceptance score of the receiving fiber. So when the diameter of the fiber is a few micrometers, then the microscopic alignment is required. So the magnitude of the radiation loss, which will depends upon degree of misalignment, fiber type, core diameter, and the distribution of the optical power between the propagation modes. So there are three types of misalignments occurs. One is a longitudinal misalignment, another one is angular misalignment, and the third one is axial displacement or lateral displacement. So here the lateral misalignment. So it means the lateral or axial misalignment occurs when the axes of the two fibers are separated by a distance d. So the lateral misalignment will give the significant, which is greater losses per unit displacement than the longitudinal misalignment. So the next one is longitudinal misalignment. So it means this type of misalignment will occur when the fibers have same axis but have the gap between their end faces. So this will occurs in the longitudinal misalignment. The next one is angular misalignment. So it means that it will occur when the two fibers axis from an angle of theta between the fiber end faces, which is no longer parallel. So the index matching fluid in the fiber gap will causes the increased losses with an angular misalignment. So this fibers which is currently employed for most of the telecommunication purposes. Next one is axial misalignment. So the axial or lateral misalignment is the most common method in practice, causing the considerable power loss. So the axial offset reduces the common core area of two fiber end faces. So that is the main illustration is that axial offset reduces the overlap area of two fiber core and faces. So this will turn reduces the power coupled between the two fibers. To illustrate the effect of the misalignment, consider the two identical step index fibers of radii A. So suppose the axes are offset, it be separation T. So assume there is a uniform model power distribution in the emitting fiber. So the numerical aperture constant for the two fibers. So coupled fiber will be proportional to the common area. So it will be denoted as A com is equal to 2a squared r cos d by 2a minus d of a squared minus d squared by 4 the whole power 1 by 2. So for here A is the core radius of fiber, D is the separation of the core fiber. For step index fiber, the coupling efficiency is simply the ratio of common area to the core and facing area. So it is expressed as eta f step is equal to a com by pi a squared. So that is equal to 2 by pi r cos d by 2a minus d by pi a into 1 minus d by 2a the whole square the whole power 1 by 2. So for a graded index fiber, the calculations for the power loss between the two identical fibers is more complex when varies from the end phase of the core. So the total power coupled in the common area is restricted by the numerical aperture of transmitting or receiving fiber. So if the end of the phase of the GIN fiber is uniformly illuminated, the optical power accepted by the core will be that power which falls within the numerical aperture of the fiber. So the optical power density P of R at the point R on the fiber end is proportional to the square of the local Na of R at that point. So P of R is equal to P of 0 Na squared of R by Na squared of 0. So where Na of R and Na of 0 are defined by P of 0 is the power density at the core axis, which is related to the total power P in the fiber. So that is P is equivalent to integral 0 to 2 pi integral 0 to a P of R into dr into d theta. So we can use the parabolic index profile alpha is equal to 2, for which P of R will be P of R is equal to P of 0 into 1 minus R by a the whole squared. So that is P will be calculated as P is equal to pi a square by 2 into P of 0. So the calculation of the received power for gin fiber can be carried out, and the result will be PT is equal to P into 1 minus 8D by 3 pi A. So here P is the total power in the transmitting fiber, and D is the distance between the two axes, and A is the radius of fiber. So the next one is the coupling loss for the offset is given as LF is equal to minus log eta F, that is equal to minus 10 log PT by P. So for longitudinal misalignment, the distance, yes, the coupling loss is given as LF is equal to minus 10 log into A by A plus S tan theta C the whole squared. So here for step index fiber, the coupling loss due to the longitudinal misalignment, and it is so here S is the misalignment and theta C is the critical acceptance angle of the fiber. So for this will be emitted in the fiber core, and the receiving of the fiber core will be received to the coupled power as well as the loss power. So next one is the angular misalignment at the joint. So when the axes of the two fibers are angularly misaligned at the joint, the optical power that will leave the emitting fiber outside the acceptance angle of receiving fiber, and it will be lost. So for two step index fibers with the misalignment angle theta, the optical power loss at the joint will be LF is equal to minus 10 log of cos theta into 1 by 2 minus 1 by pi P into 1 minus P square the whole power 1 by 2 minus 1 by pi arc sin P minus Q into 1 by pi Y into 1 minus Y square in the whole power 1 by 2 plus 1 by pi arc sin Y plus 1 by 2, where P is the cos theta C into 1 minus cos theta by sin theta C into sin theta, and Q is the cos cube theta C by cos square theta C minus sin square theta the whole power 3 by 2. So Y is equal to cos square theta C into 1 minus cos theta minus sin square theta by sin theta C cos theta C into sin theta. So this is the angular misalignment at the joint of the value of the signal. The next one is experimental comparison of loss as a function of mechanical misalignment. So here the misalignment will be occurs in the changes of the alignment signal. So it will be occurs due to the aligned, and the transmitting of the fiber has a higher numerical aperture than the receiving fiber. So this will be we have to draw the comparisons between the losses of the signal and also the normalized offset of the separation of the misalignment function. So next one is fiber related losses. So the fiber related losses are occurred due to the core diameter, core area ellipticity, numerical aperture, and the refractive index profile and core cladding concentricity of the each other. So the user will have less control over these variations since they are related only to the manufacturing process. So the fiber losses are significant for differences in core radii and numerical aperture. That is, different core radii loss is given as LF of A is equal to minus log of AR by AE the whole squared for AR is less than AE. So 0 if it is AR is greater than or equal to AE. So if it is the different numerical aperture, means the power loss is given as LF of NA is equal to minus 10 log of NAR of 0 by NAE of 0 the whole square for NAR of 0 is less than NAE of 0. If it is 0, for NAR of 0 is greater than or equal to NAE of 0. So here another thing is refractive index profile difference. So the coupling losses will be here given as LF of alpha is equal to minus 10 log of alpha R alpha E plus 2 divided by alpha E of alpha R plus 2 for alpha R is less than alpha E, and 0 for alpha R is greater than or equal to alpha E. So fiber end phase preparations. So the fiber end phases have to be prepared before they are either connected or spliced. To avoid the light deflection and scattered at the joint, the fiber ends must be flat, perpendicular to the fiber axis and smooth. So the end preparations techniques are used extensively include that is sawing, grinding, polishing. So the fiber grinding and polishing will require a controlled environment like laboratory or factory. So the end phases polished with each successive abrasive until all the scratches are removed and they become smooth. So the number of abrasives used depends on degree of smoothness that is desired. So here the controlled fracture techniques are used to cleave the fibers. So this process involves the following steps. The fiber to be cleaved is first scratched to create the stress concentration of the surface. Then the fiber is then bent over the curved form and tension is simultaneously applied to produce the stress distribution across the fiber. So the maximum stress occurs at the scratch point so that the crack starts to propagate through the fiber. So if the stress distribution across the crack is not properly controlled, the fracture distribution across the fiber can fork into several cracks, which may lead to the introduction of various types of defects in the fiber. Thank you.